Well, as you guys probably already know, Tesla cut prices massively on their vehicles, and guess what? There is a hidden impact to those price cuts that absolutely nobody is talking about, guys. I'm telling you right now, in my group, people sent me articles, videos from everybody out there, so that's something we absolutely have to discuss today and get to the bottom of. I just ask that you gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do, guys, and it's free to do. So as you can see by this chart right here, Tesla cut prices pretty big across the board there. I mean, look at that. Model 3 Performance, 14% price cut. Model Y, 20% price cut. Model Y Performance, 19% price cut. Wow, that's just crazy to look at that and see all those. Model S Plaid, 15% price cut. I guess if you're paying $135,000, a lot of money either way, but still. Now you're only paying $115,000 or so. That's really incredible. 9% and 14% there to round out the Model X Plaid. Those are massive price cuts that honestly, I'm not sure I've ever seen a car company cut prices that large, that fast across the board like that. The hidden impact is incredible, and even the bulls are getting wrong, but we'll get to that here in just a second. Hang tight, hang tight. Now, I personally never bought the narrative that the EV credits that were given or that were coming were meant to screw Tesla and everybody else, since it impacted a lot of folks, not just Tesla. It impacted Ford, it impacted LinkedIn as well, and a few others if I remember correctly. I got to go back and look at the list again, but it wasn't like Tesla was the only one who didn't see that happen. Those others also had SUVs that said that they weren't SUVs in the end from the government, so I mean, it got some people. Didn't get everyone, but it got some people, not just Tesla in general. But what's incredible is Tesla is the only one out of that group that has the margins to actually cut prices down, still make money, and get underneath some of those thresholds. And that speaks to exactly why Tesla is so different from every other car company. And then if you want to get even more into the weeds, you actually go back to March of 2021, and the prices are actually still higher than they were back then. So basically Tesla jacked the prices up, and then now they're coming back down. So it looks like these huge cuts, but they're actually not huge cuts, because they're actually still above where they were in 2021. So, kind of the net over that time frame is actually still positive or up, which I thought their margins looked pretty sweet back in 2021. So that means their margins here in 2023 should look pretty awesome as well. And you kind of go back to basic economics here, right? I mean, basically back then, when they raised the prices, 2021 or so, March 2021, you had huge demand for Teslas and they just didn't have the supply. So you jack up the prices, right? And then now that they're starting to see supply come online, they're lowering those prices back down, but still above the levels that they were before. So it's not like they're slashing prices to get rid of inventory there. They're actually slashing prices back down to where it probably should have been in the first place. And if we wouldn't have had kind of that demand crunch and supply restraint that we had, they basically probably wouldn't have jacked up the prices like they did. There are very few businesses that manufacture anything that can do this and have this sort of swing up and down in their pricing and not have it absolutely destroy the bottom line. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a Tesla fanboy here, but it's just very, very rare in that environment. Software, sure, other type businesses like that, absolutely. But in this field, with these types of vehicles, with these sort of capital allocation it takes to make something like this, it's absolutely unheard of. And that's exactly why the hidden impact that's going to happen is absolutely beautiful for long-term investors like you and I, or at least I hope you're a long-term investor if you're watching my channel. That's definitely what I am. Now, let me be very clear here, guys. You are going to see short-term pain. That's just a fact. That's a reality. That's what's going to happen. However, this is what makes the long-term opportunities so incredible. Because kind of going through this cycle the past couple of years absolutely proves that Tesla can outmaneuver any of its competitors. Everybody keeps saying the competition's coming, and Tesla can basically prove, hey, we can outmaneuver you no matter what sort of, games we engage in to try to take market share. Hey, you want to get into a price war? Guess what? Tesla's going to win a price war, right? They have far more margin to cut far further and play the pricing game and basically run everybody else out of business. Oh, in inflation, we get hyperinflation, something else happens. Tesla proved in the highest inflationary environment we've had since the 1980s, over 40 years, that, hey, guess what? We can raise our prices and continue to have that power to continue to move forward and have great earnings growth, EPS, and everything else. Oh, and by the way, sell everything that we have. Oh, all of a sudden credit dries up completely and everybody needs more cash? Not a problem. Tesla has, out of all the automakers, not even close to everybody else in regards to the ability to raise capital or raise cash or put more cash on the balance sheet than everybody else. Now, again, I know those are all things that you guys have talked about and you've heard about for years now, but it wasn't proven out like it was, back in 2020 when everybody was screaming all this sort of stuff and, Tesla to $95,000 in a year and all that crazy stuff like that. It hadn't been proven out yet. And now you have proof in the pudding. You've kind of been through the cycle and you've seen, hey, wow, What they were saying back then, which I'm not saying it was incorrect or anything like that, but the point is you have actual proof on the other end. And guess what's going to happen in the short term? You have proof of this stuff, not it's going to happen, not it could happen, not we think it's going to happen, not we think Tesla can execute to that, them actually doing it. But guess what's going to happen? The stock may get beat down in the short term. It's already beat down, but it may continue to stay down in the short term because of all the turmoil that sort of stuff causes. Because honestly, it's kind of mind blowing. Everybody keeps waiting for the other shoe to fall per se, which of course means huge opportunity for us as long-term investors. You're getting shares on the cheap, way cheaper than you should be getting shares. So I've been loading the boat ever since it kind of had its, I don't know, it was like it felt like just a 1 week, just, but it was actually over the course of a month or so. But the point was, man, what a great buying opportunity there. And this may provide us another great buying opportunity depending upon how earnings fall out. And finally, to me, this all signals that they are paving the way for massive production increases and basically hitting that goal of 50% that they've been talking about. And I'm sorry, guys, a lot of the bulls have gotten this wrong. A lot of them are saying, oh, I'm not sure. At first, it was kind of like, I don't know if they can hit 50. Then it was kind of, I don't know if they can hit 40. And some guys are even saying 30 or 20. I mean, some people have just flipped and gone super bearish on this sort of stuff. And I'm like, wait a second. They're ramping up production in all these places. I really think they're going to hit full capacity, especially Giga Berlin and Giga Texas, hopefully. And you don't think they're going to be able to hit their 50% growth rate despite these price cuts? I don't know. Just a lot of this math is not adding up. I get it. Everybody's scared right now. Everybody's fearful. Hey, this is what happens during crash markets. And I understand a lot of the folks saying that and a lot of the Tesla bulls were not investors the last time we had a true bear market back in 2008, 2009. So they have no idea what this feeling is right now, which is no matter what your stock does, no matter how great they are, the news is negative. The stock is going down and it doesn't seem like it has any sort of support anywhere. And that's exactly what happens in a crash. And that's why investing is so hard. It's absolutely easy during a bull run where you can have, conviction in a stock, but unfortunately your conviction wasn't in knowing what you owned. Your conviction was, hey, I said it was going to go up and it went up, and therefore it made you feel more and more confident. And now that, you still feel like, I really love it and the numbers all look good, but it's going down, you start to question what you're actually doing there because it takes an investor's mindset and a long-term mindset to understand that, hey, I wasn't buying it when it was at 400 because it was overvalued. And I understand the value of what I owned at that stage. Not saying I wasn't happy when it was up there. My Tesla shares looked real nice, but I knew it was overvalued and it would correct down. Now, I didn't see this. This is, we're in insane territory right now. But the point is, I know what I own and I know kind of what Tesla is doing and how they're executing. And unless there's something out there that tangibly tells me, hey, Tesla can't produce at 50%, 40%, whatever the case is, and it's still a bad investment, even if you buy it, even if they only produce 40%. Or hey, do the math. See if they only produce 30%. Are they able to, which by the way is an incredible growth rate, is that something that I still want to own long term? And where can I put my money in the meantime to see that 30% growth in a different stock? There's not a lot of stocks out there that are going to see 30% growth this year, especially in kind of a large cap stock like Tesla is. It just doesn't exist, guys. Bear markets like these, there are a lot of hard lessons learned. And I know because this is I guess, you got tech bubble, the financial crisis, and then the illness crash, and now this. I've been through them all. And guess what? I've made those exact mistakes. I've had all those feelings before. That's where that analysis and that mental part comes in. No emotions, get rid of it. Sit down, look at it, adjust, and kind of go, hey, is Tesla a good value at this price? Are we truly getting, a good deal at this price? And to me, the impact of these price cuts is going to be some short-term pain, especially among traders and people who want to, fly with the news and all the other crap like that. But long-term, I'm absolutely seeing some things start to fall in place and some things start to line up with, hey, a lot of these narratives aren't making sense. Now, it doesn't mean it can't happen. I'm not saying nobody knows where anything's going, right? Nobody knows. But oh my gosh, if I had to bet, is Tesla going to hit 50% or 20%, and I had to put my entire net worth on it, I'm putting my entire net worth on 50%. That's just kind of the way it would work because I just don't see anything that tells me they're going to hit 20% growth in the next year. So to me, that is the hidden impact that we're seeing right now. We're seeing more short-term noise and more short-term everything that is actually hiding the opportunity that we're going to be given if Wall Street decides to beat the stock down. And if, basically, Q1 is not as great as everybody thinks it's going to be, obviously with delivery numbers being down, that's the reason why it started, flowing back down again in the first place. So that to me is the real hidden impact of what's going on with these price cuts and what's going on with Tesla stock. And remember, if you want to join my group and actually ask me tons of in-depth questions about Tesla when we do our Q&A today, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if it's right for you. At least click on the website, see if it's right for you. We got a little free gift there for you too if you want it. And see if it's the right move for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see exactly what I'm doing in this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.